All right, so when you click on price and tax history, the history of the listing is going to show up. It's going to show you when it was sold, when it was listed for sale, when there's price changes, when there's a pending sale, and when it's sold again or listing removed. Any sort of adjustments to the house will be in price and tax history. Sometimes you might see 1980s, sold in the 1980s. It'll take you all the way back. I don't know exactly how far back, but you may see some very old dates come up in here. So in this case, we're looking for how long was this house on the market, right? Days on the market, DOM, days on the market. We're going to go back here. I'm going to show you this. DOM, days on the market, 114 days, right? Okay, so this was recently, well, not recently. There's probably about probably like 10, 11, 12. Well, 12 months from now, but when I got the house, that was 6 months. So it was 6 months ago. It was recent. Okay. We're going to backtrack. It was sold in November 23rd of 2018, right? And we want to know when it was listed. When we calculate days on the market, we calculate from the sold date from the listing date. So listing removed, price change, pending sale, price change, listed for sale. Okay, so on the 8th, I think that's like August or whatever, right? August 1st, 2018, that's when it was listed for sale. Again, when we calculate days on the market, it's the days that it was listed for sale, the most recent days. And we calculate to the sold, to the pending date, not to the sold date. The sold date's completely different. And the reason why I want to make a very big emphasis on this, price change, none of that stuff counts. Price change, listing removed, none of that stuff counts. Sold date, when was it sold? Sold. And when was it listed? That's sorry. Sold date, it's not relevant, okay? So the sold date, the primary thing we're looking for is listed for sale and pending sale. Listed and pending. That's what we want to know, days on the market. So this is kind of like what separates the newbies from the experienced people, is the listed date from the pending date. Because when it sold, okay, when it went pending, that means they went to contract, right? They went to contract, okay? There's so much information that I can tell you on this, and I mean, this video isn't a $40,000 course on how to become a real estate investor. This video is pretty much on figuring out, how to analyze comps on a house. Okay, so I'm going to keep it very simple. And we're looking for days on the market, and this is listed for sale. Listed for sale. And we want to look for pending sale. Sold date doesn't mean anything. Alright, just for clarification. Okay, so anyways, it was listed for sale on our August 1st, and it went pending September. So August 1st, that's 8/1, so that's 30 days plus 18 days. That's 30 plus 18. So 30, that's 40, that's 48 days. Okay? 48 days on the market. The person who did this, was actually it's not accurate. So I'm going to actually do this right now in real time. So that's, what was it? I'm going to look at it again. Listed for sale, it was August 1st over to price pending. So it's 30 days plus another 18, so that's 48 days. It's 48 days on the market. And then I'm going to put Zach. as like kind of like a stamp, right? So who put it there? I put it there. Okay, so 48 days on the market. One thing, so the reason why is we want to look for this is because when homes get listed for sale, there's so many things that can happen until we go into contract. So pending sale means someone made an offer. When it's a pending sale, we don't know exactly how much that offer was until it was sold. Now, obviously, now we know what that offer was. It was $780,000 compared to the listed of $750 and it sold for $780. What's a higher number? $850 or $780? Which one is higher? Okay, so that tells you there are price changes, price reductions, or a lower offer. Okay, now let's look at the history. Price change, $775, listed for $850. Price change, $830. Now they're trying to go back there again, whatever the case may be. I don't know what happened. Price, pending sale, $830. They probably negotiated something somewhere around here. Price change, again, I don't know what happened. They're probably in contract. There's so many, look, this isn't this is not a $40,000 course. I'm not going to go into details on what could have happened. But anyways, they're in contract and they had flexibility. Anyways, they sold it at $780,000. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know for days on the market. They sold it at $780,000. Now, another thing I want to alliterate on is that Zillow isn't 100% accurate, okay? So, this is another thing. It's not a $40,000 course. $780,000, I believe it. That's what they sold at. And there's other reasons why I think this happened. And I'm not going to go into details because the purpose of this is to figure out days on the market. It was listed for sale at $850,000. It sold at $780,000. The days on the market was 45 days on the market. This is our 48 days on the market. This is something that we need in our notes when we're running comps. Okay. So it's 48 days on the market. Now that ties in line with everything else in here. Comp number 2, 60 days on the market. Comp number 3, 55 days on the market. Comp number 4, 109 days on the market. It's probably not accurate. Comp number 5, 24 days on the market. But I just want to show you how to comp days on the market. And that's how you figure out days on the market. It's very simple. It's on Zillow. Again, it's not 100% accurate, but it's 95% accurate. Okay. Usually when it's the other 5% of inaccuracies, usually you have more savvy real estate investors or realtors, or there's more savvy people involved in the transaction. But in this case scenario, about 95% of it is less savvy. I'm not going to say less savvy. It's just going to be everyday people, right? Everyday realtor, Jamie, whatever. And then whoever bought it in 2008, just an everyday person. When you see other crazy things involved, they're more savvy. That's all there is. Okay, and again, it's not a $40,000 course. I'm gonna teach you the basics in this one, how to run comps. All right, so days on the market. Moving forward, the next thing we want to understand is days on the market. Zach, You always want to have the bed and baths on the comps. 4, 2, right? And we already went over this in the other video. I'm assuming this is permitted, and based off the knowledge from when I talked to them, I'm pretty positive this is permitted because I'm using permitted comps. So now the thing is, with the year, it's not 100% necessary. In some cases it is, like if you're in San Francisco. So in California, so anyways, when you look at how the house looks, it's going to give you a very good definition. So going back to the satellite image, an image like this, it tells you the year it was built in. And then if you look at the comps, you look at the other comps on their satellite image. So I hit Street View. It's about the same. You can tell when they're built in the same year. This is not like a Victorian style house. If I were to Google Victorian style house, you can tell it's a completely different type of model house. There's all kinds of crazy, there's so many like details that go into these homes. So when the year is built, it's easy to tell from the street view. Okay, so that's not like a whole lot of, it's in some cases it means something, but this is why I'm showing you this very long video on how to run comps. Okay, so sold, you always want to have the date or the amount it was sold and the date it was sold. So 780, we're going to go back to 4080 Sacramento. And the good thing on Zillow, this is why I really like Zillow. It's going to tell you how much it sold for right there. This is the yellow dot, sold for. And it's going to tell you when it was sold on. And again, this stuff isn't 100% accurate, but it's about 98% accurate. And that's a whole nother story. And again, this isn't like a $40,000 course. We're going through, majority of things. All right, so it was sold on, it was sold for $708,000, sold on December 3rd, 2018. All right, and that's how you find when it was sold and for how much. This is very important information. The next one is miles. How far is this home sold? How far is this comp from the subject property? Again, subject property, miles, how far? So this is why I have another tab that's open on distance right here, right? So we go back to comp number 1, we highlight it, we do copy paste, take it back to this tab, we're going to paste it. How far is it? This is very important. This is something that everyone needs to know. You do car. You can zoom out a little bit if you want. Satellite isn't extremely important. I'll hit maps if I were you, because it's easier to read. You see how this shows 2 minutes, 0.3 miles. If I have satellite, it's just kind of a little bit harder to read, so I like to use default. And we want to use 0.3 miles. Okay, this isn't 100% accurate again when it comes to miles, and I'll show you why. Let's zoom in. Okay, it starts off with the house right here at the front of the house, takes you up the street, takes you up another street, and you gotta go right, and you gotta go left, and you gotta go right again. It's not 100% accurate. I would say if it's 100% accurate, we'll cut some of this stuff. I don't see when it comes to miles and appraiser. So the reason why I do this is because we're getting very technical on miles, right? So if Google Maps said, "Hey, look, it's Monday at 8 a.m. There's an elementary school right here. There's a middle school right here. And if you happen to start running comps at 8 a.m. in the morning, Google Maps is going to say, go this way. Go up. Up, wherever this street name is, or Coley, and it's going to say, go on right on Ranchero. It'd say, go right on whatever this street name is. There's all kinds of crazy street names. And it's going to say 0.8 miles. So depending on the time of day when you run your Google Maps, it's going to say it's a mile long trip. But that's very inaccurate because we're calculating what is the true difference on the on the mileage.